Well, I'm so excited to have Cailan Franz, Director of Development and Communications for Immigrant Legal Center, with me here today. Cailan, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
So let's just talk a little bit about Immigrant Legal Center. You guys, you actually had a name change a few years ago, because what were you? What were, if some people might know you from the previous name?
Yeah. So Immigrant Legal Center is an affiliate of the National Justice for Our Neighbors affiliation. And so we used to be called Justice for Our Neighbors Nebraska.
Yeah.
And about 2 years ago, had a name and brand change to Immigrant Legal Center to kind of better explain the work that we're doing. So people know. I'm not sure how much you know about Immigrant Legal Center. We are the largest nonprofit legal service provider of immigration legal services in Nebraska and Southwest Iowa, and have we're headquartered here in Omaha, but we have offices all throughout the state of Nebraska.
Okay. And yeah, let's just talk a little bit more about, like, who do you serve and what services do you offer? So go for it.
Immigrant Legal Center serves the most vulnerable immigrants and immigrant families in our community. We serve low income immigrant and immigrant families. So we do have a income threshold that our clients need to meet. All of our services are provided free of charge. Which is a really key piece for our clients and the families that we serve, because as you and your viewers may be aware, legal services can be very expensive and can be prohibitive to a lot of families in our communities and in rural communities. And so one of our main focuses here at Immigrant Legal Center is making sure that our clients have access to high quality immigration legal services. And these services are often, I like to say, not only life-changing, they are life-saving.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me again, so the areas that you serve, Omaha's the headquarters, and you serve Western Iowa, or all
So
of?
we're in Council Bluffs.
Okay.
We also have an office in South Sioux City, and so we do kind of have some presence up in the Siouxland, and then we really are a statewide organization. One thing that we have found is that the lack of access to quality, affordable or no-cost immigration legal services for immigrant families in western and central Nebraska is a big obstacle. And so as a statewide organization, we have attorneys that are based throughout the state, as well as here in Omaha, that are able to serve the needs of immigrant families in Scotts Bluff or in Grand Island, in Lexington. So we're definitely statewide.
So, I mean, first of all, I can imagine, regardless of COVID-19, I want to ask you about that, these families have a lot of challenges, I mean, like you said, and they're dealing with a lot of different things. But COVID-19, putting that in the mix, kind of how has that added to the challenges that your organization and these families are dealing with?
I mean, definitely. As you may be aware, immigrant families are working in high numbers in essential positions, essential workforce. We've been saying immigrants are essential. They are our medical staff. They are working at our grocery stores. They are predominantly in meat processing and meat packing plants. And we've been doing a lot of work and advocacy with our partners around ensuring the health and safety of immigrants that are working in meat processing plants. And in addition to just the realities of daily life for our immigrant clients and immigrant families in Nebraska and Southwest Iowa, COVID-19 has impacted the pace at which the government, USCIS, is able to process forms to kind of, the courts were closed for a while, so we did have some things that were in limbo. There are certain instances where COVID-19 is impacting the administration's decisions on for immigration decisions. I myself am not an attorney. I am not, so I'm not an expert in the immigration law per se, but I can tell you that immigrants here in Nebraska have been impacted by COVID-19 and policy changes as a result at the federal level.
Yeah. Well, one of the things your organization obviously needs, are funds to help the nonprofit keep moving forward. Yeah. Can we talk a little bit, because I want to talk about your event coming up, the World Food Truck Tour. What year is this? Is it like the 5th or the 6th? Or?
It's my first, but
yeah.
It's the organization's 5th.
Yeah. And so this is one way where people can help support the organization through this event. So let's just talk about this is like a super fun event, but again, COVID-19 kind of everybody is needing to change things up a little bit. But it's it's Sunday, October 11th. It's coming up, less than a month away, and we knew kind of early on in this COVID pandemic that we were going to have to change up how we did the event. For people that have been there previously, it was there was 500 people, a really fun event that we do hope to be able to return to next year. But we've been working really hard with our event planners and our amazing event chairs, Josh and Dana Barty and Laura and Greg Chambers, to put together an event that is socially distanced, it's safe, but that also is sharing with people the importance of our work and the importance of immigrants and immigrant families in our community. So what we have come up with is a drive-through event. It is going to be at Millbrook Commons. And so we have 5 food trucks that are providing food, and everybody that attends will get a little sample platter of food from all the different food trucks. And we're really excited this year about our opportunity to kind of provide eco-friendly packaging. It's going to be food waste we're being very mindful of. And then you come, get your food, and then go home. And we're going to have a live streamed event that we're going to stream on our Facebook Live that includes some special musical guests that we can't announce yet, but we're really excited about. So stay tuned. Go to immigrantlc.org for all the details. And then also sharing some stories and some client stories about why our work is so important, because when it comes down to it, it's the families that we serve, and all the proceeds from this event will go directly to help families in our community. The people that we serve here at Immigrant Legal Center are the most vulnerable immigrants in our state. They are children that have been abused and neglected. They are domestic violence victims. They are people fleeing violence. But they're also our amazing DACA recipients. They're our dreamers. They are, our teachers. They are incredible, amazing people. And so we're just so excited to be able to have this event and showcase them. Again, it really is one of my favorite events. So, and it's fairly new too. Like if it, but it's just so much fun. So I'm so happy you guys, think outside of the box and say we're still going to do this event. And I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to attend. I will be getting my food platter and then joining you virtually on Facebook. So, Cailan, thank you so much for joining me again today. We've got stuff we'll be posting it on our website. I think another way for people to stay in touch with you is through social media. So we're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We also have a special event website that has all of our information. You can also see our progress to our fundraising goal and help us get there. It is immigrantlc.org/food truck. Okay. All right. Well, thank you again for joining me. It's great to see you. And I'll see you on October 11th.
Wonderful.
Okay. Thanks again. And folks, we'll be right back. Well, welcome back, everybody. I'm here with Julia Hebenstreit. She is the executive director for the Kim Foundation. Julia, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Andy. We always enjoy doing this each year.
Yeah. So let's talk. Yeah, let's just give us a little history about the Kim Foundation, what it is, who it serves.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are a family foundation based here in the Omaha metro area, but we do work throughout the state of Nebraska. We focus on mental health awareness and suicide prevention, and really doing a lot of education and just empowering people to educate themselves around these topics, because it's something that we haven't done necessarily as a community in the past, and just really teaching people how to have that conversation, where to connect for help. We also are a funder. Our history comes from the Courtnidge family, who are the former owners of CNA Industries. They lost their daughter Kim to suicide, and so we're named in her memory. And all of the work that we do is really driven by the board, which is the family, and their passion for helping other families who are in the same situation that they were with Kim. And so it's a very personal mission, and something that we really strive to do in the community, to just help bring people together around this.
And as we've mentioned before the interview, we're talking about September is Suicide Prevention Month, and really looking at providing just additional resources, or just it's important to shine a light on this. And so what are you doing, and what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. We focus on it all year long. And so we really love that the community can come together in the month of September, and just, like you said, shine a light on this important topic, because it's something that unfortunately we're seeing too often. We continue to hear nationally that suicide deaths are going up because of the pandemic, and that may be true. We don't have national data. However, we do track the local data, and our overall suicide deaths are actually down compared to where we were at this point last year. But unfortunately, our youth suicide deaths are much higher than where we were last year. And we hate to put just numbers to death, because behind every one of those is a person, and a brother, and a sister, and a son and daughter. So we really feel this September, more than ever, it's important as a community to come together around suicide prevention, and just we encourage people to empower themselves, to learn the warning signs. If they identify those in themselves or a loved one, where do they connect for help? So in doing that, with that goal in mind, we've worked with the Metro Area Suicide Prevention Coalition and delivered toolkits to all of the high schools and middle schools that wanted the materials throughout the entire metro area early September. And we passed out stress balls and magnets and posters and just different things with that suicide prevention lifeline for the school to distribute to the students. And then we also, with many key partners in the community, have relaunched our suicide prevention awareness campaign, and it's now called More Tomorrows. And it's really focused on hope, help, and healing. And it was important for us to launch that in September for Suicide Prevention Month. And so we have Region 6 Behavioral Health Care, Sherwood Foundation, First National Bank, FNBO, and several other key community partners that have come together and made this possible for us. And so we're really excited about the energy behind the campaign. And you can check out the campaign at moretomorrowsne.org.
Well, and talking about hope, healing, that is the name of your event that you have coming up. And is this, 7, 8 years? 6?
Yeah, 9, because the first year was kind of like, let's just do this.
Okay, all right. I knew.
Yeah.
This is an event that's happened year after year, and you've had some pretty incredible speakers come. I think that Muriel Hemingway was one of them. I was looking at the list.
Patrick Kennedy was another big one that we had. Yeah.
So this event coming up in October really, first of all, again, shines a light on what your organization is all about. And also, it raises funds for the organization. With COVID-19, you're doing something a little different. So talk about that, and let's get people buying tickets.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, just like everyone, you just kind of have to adapt and evolve what you're doing to meet the needs, the current needs of the community. And so we felt it was best in everyone's safety, including, our own and health and safety, just to move to a virtual event this year. And so it will be on October 20th from 11:45 to 1 o'clock. And we still are having our same keynote speaker. So Scarlett Lewis, who lost her son Jesse in the Sandy Hook tragedy. He was 6 years old in the first grade classroom. And, she tells this very powerful story, obviously, of her grief, but turning that grief into something positive and focusing on social emotional learning within schools so that we intervene earlier, teaching youth how to cope and work through these emotions. So, if we can intervene earlier, hopefully long term, we have better results. And then her other surviving son, JT Lewis, he focuses a lot on youth advocacy for youth who've been through traumatic events. And so he's going to do a guest appearance with his mom. So we're really excited about that. They've never presented together, actually. So we'll be the first. Yeah, which is interesting. Yeah, they do it separately. But and then we've partnered with DoorDash for the food delivery component so that people can host watch parties in their office if they're working, in the office or at home if that's where they are. And so we just want to meet everyone where they are, still bringing the community together around mental health awareness and promotion and just spreading that message. I think it's important that we realize as a community, all of us can do something to help someone else, and all of us have some, mental health. We may have some really good days, some really bad days. We're working toward mental wellness. It's an ongoing journey. And so just normalizing that for people and bringing them together around this event is always our goal for the year.
Yeah. So how can people buy tickets?
Yes, you can go to our website, thekimfoundation.org, and register there. We also have a few different sponsor packages still available, and we'll be delivering watch party boxes to all the watch parties that will have some foundation swag and information for people. And then again, obviously the meals through DoorDash. And so if you go to the website, thekimfoundation.org, and you can get registered today, and the luncheon is October 20th.
Okay. And how can people connect with you? Just in general, if them themselves or they have a family member and they need help, what's the process for that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we really serve as a conduit to connect people in the community to resources. We spend a lot of time throughout the year getting to know available resources in the community. We aren't a direct service provider, but work with most all of them in the community. So we have people call the office every day. You can also submit something to our general email account on the website and just explaining your situation, and we'll help connect you as best we can to resources that we think would be helpful in your situation. Our phone number is 402-891-6911, or you can visit the website, thekimfoundation.org. We also are on all your social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. So any of those you can connect with us there. We're always looking, if it's not you who need direct help, and you just have a friend or you want to volunteer because you're passionate about this, we're always looking for ways to involve the community in a number of ways. But certainly if you are in need of help, reach out to us. If you are in a crisis situation or really struggling, the Suicide National Lifeline has a call center here in Omaha. So that's always a great resource too. And that's 1-800-273-8255.
Yeah. I'm just so grateful for the work that you do, the Kim Foundation does in the community. It's just, it's so important, and mental health, sometimes that's just something we don't always think about. And it becomes almost secondary in some, instances, that just being able, again, appreciate everything you guys are doing. So encourage everybody to go to your website. I'm super excited about this event.
Yeah, bring your tissues. It's a sad one, but very, very good story.
Yeah, and and kudos for, everybody's having to think outside of the box, that versus just not doing it. That it's like, hey, how can we do this, and maybe even get more of the community involved.
Yeah, So we're hoping so. Yeah.
All right, Julia, thank you so much for joining me today. It's always good to talk to you, always good to see you, and hopefully we'll see each other in person.
In person.
Soon.
Yeah, so thank you for always supporting us and spreading our message and really helping us share that in the community. And
Yeah,
thank
you're
you.
so welcome. So, all right, folks, don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back, everybody. I am so excited to have with me today Susie Nelson, Executive Director of Angels Among Us, and Allie Theilen. She is the Director of Community Relations and Development. Ladies, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
It's been a wild ride this year for sure, and I know your organization that does so much for so many in this community. I just first want to talk with you, Susie. Just tell us about Angels Among Us, kind of the history, and who do you serve?
So Angels Among Us is a Nebraska nonprofit, first and foremost. It was started in 2006 by a woman who had lost her son to pediatric cancer, and she wanted to give back to the other families that she saw struggling in the cancer ward at Children's Hospital. And so she birthed Angels Among Us, and we provide financial and emotional support to families battling pediatric cancer. This year, we'll help over 130 families with over $500,000 in support. And
Wow.
we'll walk alongside those families for as long as 3 years while they go through their battle. Our goal is really to take that financial burden off of those families so that they can focus on getting their child well.
Yeah. Again, and that's just so important because when your child is sick, especially with cancer, that you can't, I mean, that's your life. That becomes your life, and things you can't always provide. Sometimes financial stuff stops, salary, your work becomes your child. So
Yeah, about 83% of families suffer a job loss. One parent travels with the child to care for them during their journey, and the other one stays back and keeps the home going. And so it can be very, very difficult for these young families.
yeah, absolutely. Well, one of the things that there's several different ways I know people can help you, and I want to kind of wrap back around and actually ask that at the very end. But one of them is your gala that's coming up, and it's so much fun, and it's in the past you get everybody together and you have a wonderful evening, but this year you've had to, like a lot of nonprofits, think outside the box. So let's, Allie, I'm going to turn it over to you to talk about the gala and the timing and the dates and kind of what to expect, because it's virtual this year.
It is. We had to get a little bit creative, knowing that, we couldn't have 500 people in a room together, especially because we serve cancer families and they're in isolation a lot in their home. And so we're staying home and safe for them this year. So the festivities are technically about 2 days long. We have some cocktail games and the silent auction that's virtual open for viewing on Thursday, October 1st. And then the main event and the main festivities will be Friday, October 2nd. And that'll start with silent auction, online bidding. There will be some fun cocktail games that you can still play that day, assuming they aren't all sold out by then.
Right.
Have a short 1 hour program, which will consist of some spotlights of some of our awesome families, 2 of which that are local, that their paths just happened to cross in a crazy way. It's a pretty inspirational story that we'll share. And then, of course, Chris Covey, he just cannot get rid of us, and he is doing a short comedy entertainment for us for that evening. So virtual online tickets are available now on our website, which is www.myangelsamongus.org. They're $100 and you get access to everything. If you aren't available that night, or if you can't hop on, from 7 to 8, we are allowing our auctions open to the public as well as the cocktail game. So you can participate at any time.
Okay.
Or all day Friday.
And then how, up to what point can you buy tickets?
Yeah, up until that morning of, we're going to allow tickets to be purchased because we'll be sending out a virtual link. So you can watch it in your PJs at home, or you can invite a small group of friends over and watch it together too.
Okay. And morning of, meaning the 1st or the 2nd?
The 2nd, the morning of.
Okay. Okay, on Friday the 2nd. Okay.
3 weeks.
Well, first of all, that just sounds like so much fun. And we all have to just love Chris Covey for, I know he's so passionate about your organization, but to come up and do his, whatever he's going to do, which will be, I know, just super fun and just what a great cause. And again, thinking outside of the box to how you can not just, decide we're not going to do this event, but yeah, we are going to do this event and have all these amazing ways that people can get involved before, during, and after. So,
Absolutely. And for our corporate sponsors, we're doing something a little extra fun for them. So if you sponsor a watch party, just a small one of, a few couples, we're actually sending you, depending on your level, anywhere from an appetizer to a charcuterie board to a full meal with wine. So sponsorships are still available a few more weeks as well. So we make it easy to host a watch party, that's for sure.
Yeah. And then where's the food coming from?
Yeah, so Joe Ricketts is opening the Remklaven Ricketts restaurant.
Okay.
Not even built yet, but his chef has agreed to make special meals just for our guests, which is super exciting. So it'll be the first taste of this restaurant that isn't opening for a while.
Yeah.
We've got great wine to pair with it. So it's a unique experience for sure that no one else will get.
Yeah. And before I let you go, we have to talk about this $50,000 match that's happening during the event. So talk to me about that.
Yes, we have an anonymous donor that is they're just an angel from heaven, and they always drop in at the most unexpected times.
Yeah.
And a few weeks ago, they called and said, hey, we really want to help you during this time. How would it be if we put up a challenge of $50,000 to match any donation, any Raise the Paddle up until the night of the event and on the night of the event. And so we've set our internal goal to match that. Hopefully we'll do that the night of the event, but if not, we've got a little bit of extra time to meet that, and it'll really help bridge the gap that we've seen because of COVID-19. Donations may be down, but our families are more than ever. We have more families than we've ever helped. And so this is going to be a great way for people to participate and double their money.
Yeah. So the website they can go to buy tickets to this event and be a part of all this wonderfulness stuff.
Yeah, they can go to www.myangelsamongus.org.
Okay.
And if you actually want to give to the match prior to the event, they can. It's just aaumatch.org.
Okay. And I know a great place to follow Angels Among Us is on social media. You've got a Facebook page, Twitter. Tell us just a little bit about that, because that's just a really great way to stay up to date.
Yeah, our website's a great home base, but also we have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So you can connect with us in all places.
Okay. Well, I just want to thank you ladies for coming on and talking with me today. I'm excited about this event, and what else is possible, and that the $50,000 match, that is just huge. So just inviting everybody to be a part of that as well.
And you've heard it here first.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. So thank you. And I'll hopefully see you all soon, but I will definitely be there the night of the event. So
Awesome. Well, thank you for having us, Andy.
Yep. You're welcome. And thank you all for joining me today. We'll see you back here next week.